Hello and welcome to another video. Right, pickups from June, because it's July now. Not the Ocean Colour Scene song. I've got more sort of compilation albums than anything else. I've only actually bought one actual album. I'll start off with that, and I'll get through some cool compilation albums, and then we'll get to the interesting compilation albums, depending on how you view it. So the one and only album, Digipack, I got is Morrissey, California Sun. So we'll get onto the compilation albums, and as you know, I'm trying to get a complete set of Shine, Rough Trade, Hits, and that's what I call music. I'm going to start with Rough Trade. So I've got Rough Trade Shop's Indie Pop 09. If you want to pause and take in the track list there. Rough Trade is cool with, like, you get like these really underground indie artists. I mean, Tullycraft, the Faintest Ideas, Love Is All, that kind of thing. We get a couple that we might have heard of, like Los Campesinos, Girls. You might something you might have heard of Dum Dum Girls and things like that. But they're cool for stuff like that. And this is what they dub as indie pop. So and from indie pop comes country. Rough Trade. I had no idea they did country. This one's called you can see it there, Country One. If you want to take in I don't really read that. You might have to look this up online. I'm not gonna put a big long list on reflecting the camera. Again, the same sort of things. These are all country songs. There is a. Did I put that held up the right way? Can't tell. Was I holding up that way? Is it that way? Yeah. Oop, and now I'm dropping it. Interesting, the Violent Femmes are on here. I didn't know they were a country band, or it's just a country thing. It was cheap. What can I say? The actual albums I want to collect by Rough Trade are Counterculture. This, I believe, for the little research I've done, is the first Counterculture CD. It's a bit like the indie pop sort of thing. I mean, you might have seen me do all that. You want to check out the track list? It's there. You can pause that. Again, there's loads of random stuff like Ukulan. But there's stuff you might have heard of, like Electric Six, The Breeders. I saw another one you might have heard of. Depending on how did Bright Eyes, you might have heard of Bright Eyes. There's a band called The Books here. So this is from 2002. I believe that's the first one. I could be mistaken. Prepared to be mistaken. It's the earliest one I found. I'd like to get the full set of those. Another Rough Trade. This time Green Man 12. I'm not too sure what Green Man is, but there you go. Taking the track list. Same sort of thing. You might have heard of Metronomy, Mogwai, Tune Yards. Might have heard of Friends. Same Ghost Poet, that sort of thing. Right, and so that's the Rough Trade out of the way. The other one I'm trying to fill, Shine. And only two I'm missing out of Shine, which I'll tell after this. So now I have Shine 5, and we'll take a look, pause the track listing and everything. Shine 5 and Shine 9. The only ones I'm missing are the first Shine, and there's a best of Shine. Apart from that, I've nearly completed those. It'd be easy enough for me to pick up the Shine. I'm trying to get it for as cheap as possible, and as soon I'm gonna go on a big hit splurge to get all the cheapest ones of them I can get, and then we'll go from there. I might start going back to random albums. I don't have that kind of thing, but that was my plan. So speaking of hits, I now have Hits 93 Volume 4. A lot of reflection in very bright summer. Summer's a lot of sunshine out there bleeding through my curtains, so I'm getting a lot of reflection. And the oldest Hits album I've got now, the Hits album 7, I believe, I can't remember if it's Hits 5 or 6, but those are the oldest ones you can get on CD. I think they're single disc. But this is the first double album by the Hits, and I believe this came out in '87. I don't know if I can get a copyright. I think it's '87. Oh, it goes quiet on from me. Yeah, there's a copyright here saying '87. So, yep. In production in '87. I mean, they stopped doing Hits albums, but they've recently released 3 compilation albums, sort of like an 80s and 70s and another one. And the 80s one is a Rubik's Cube. It looks kind of like that. I may or may not get it, but you know, that's it. But I am going for complete hits. As I've said numerous times, I'll say it one more time. Yeah, that's what I call music. Everyone seems to think that if you have it now, that's what I call music. It's kind of like a picture of the landscape at the time, and well, that's not untrue. I would say that hits generally have stuff that's not on the now albums now. And I'm going to dig out. Now that's what I call music album to prove my point. But Rick Astley, Never Gonna Give You Up, I don't think that was on her now. I could be mistaken. I'll look pretty forward. I know Beastie Boys, she's on it. I know that's on an American now, but I don't think the Beastie Boys ever made a UK now. Alexander O'Neal, Criticised, that's quite a big track. I mean, Shakin' Stevens, who was massive at the time, had a lot of number ones in the 80s. Bee Gees, You Win Again, I don't know whether that was on any nows. Not any canonical nows. I mean, they might be on like some best of this, that, and the other nows, but the canonical ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't think those made them. But like I say, Sony, BMG, Telstar, and I forget the other company. Used to do hits, and you, as I've said before, Sony BMG now does the nows. So technically, the company that started these is now doing the nows. Which is why, if you want a full now set, technically, I think you need a full hit set. If you want to look at it that way. But speaking of nows, I have more here, and I have now that's what I call Music 20. Which means I've completed the 20s. Every now 20 I have on CD. There's a track listing, so extremely happy to have that. Completed the 20s. Of course, now I've completed the 20s. I've also got now 19, now 15, now 14. Now 12, and that means I've completely completed the teens as well. The tens or teens, whatever you want to call it. So, boom, blown out the water. There's really not many canonical nows I need to complete the set. They are slowly releasing some of the early ones. As I've done videos on, I've released the original now. That's what I call Music 1, which is not such a big deal. They've done it twice before. But then they release now 2 on CD. You might see a video. I'll put the I dot up somewhere. I forget which side. I think it's this side because it's all mirrored for me. So and now 3 is coming out July 19th, which I'll I'll definitely pick up. I might do a video saying, I got it, or I might just throw it in a pickups video. Either or. It seems to me like they're going to start to roll out all the now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know where they're going to stop. They might stop up to now 9. I can't see them going past now 9. The reason being is now 8 and 9 they're single CDs, and not every track came out from like the 40 odd, around 40 odd tracks they put on. So that I predict they'll stop at 9. If they carry on going, I'll be very surprised. I definitely don't see them going past 30. Simply because once you get into the 30s, you get into very common ground. And once you get past now 22, even though it's double albums, once you get past now 22, they get more and more common. As soon as you get now 29 and above, I mean, they're as common as muck. You'll find them you'll start finding them in charity shops for £1, maybe 50 pence. They really are really common. I've found now's past now 30 that have been 50 pence a shot. So yeah, so if you want to see the track list of now 19, it's nicely segued. I'm very excited to have all these. Now 14. Is that 14? Yeah, now 14. Which I'll put them out of order. Yeah, a little bit. That was now 14. Which that was starting to get very difficult for me to get. Especially now 15. I think this one's really overpriced. I got this a bit of a deal. I don't overpay for things. I get things as cheaply as possible. But now 15 seems to be something very difficult to get cheap, but I managed it just by sheer persistence, I think. So I've dropped out the market for looking for a now 15, so now would be the time to carry on and have a look if you want one yourself. But there's the track listing. I don't know why now 15 is so expensive. Now 12. You may know I've got this on vinyl. I might start getting the vinyls in, but I'm more of a CD collector because they're relatively cheap. Even though the early vinyls are quite cheap, you'll be able to find the first 10, couple of the teens for a couple of quid. I know I bought this now 12 for £2, but there you go. If you want to take in the track list, so I've kept it in its protective wrapper to a degree. Oh, why not? It came in a protective wrapper. Last one. So I've completed the teens, but last video, I think it was last video, I got now 10, which at the time was the oldest. Now I had even now 12 CD, vinyl rather, even though I've got now 12 there. Now 10 would be the oldest one, but yeah, I'll have a new challenge to that thrown. That's what I call Music 8, and as I said, these are not complete. I mean, as you can see here, these tracks and 15 more are available on double album, LP record or cassette. I don't know why they did the like single CD, like single disc CD for now 8 and 9. Now 9 is the same as this in terms of it's like half of a now album, but I got it a bit of a deal, so I got that as well. And yeah, no computer games, no movies, strapped for cash sort of thing. Especially as I bought all those nows. I mean, like I get them in cheap, but no, I decided to get those nows in. It'll really mess me up if they decide to re-release all the nows past now 9. I suspect they'll stop at. I suspect they'll stop at now 9. If you want my opinion on that, if they do carry on, they're really not going to push it much past the 20s. If they carried on to the 30s, I think they're just wasting printing runs, because you can get them for next to nothing. But that was this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate and subscribe. Again, I've got plans for lots of videos. I never actually get time to do them. I seem to be punching out these pickups videos, though. I feel like I've got to do these. Not in a way that I don't enjoy it. If I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't do it. But you know what I mean. But yeah. I will be working on something. I've just got I've got lots of, and I don't get paid to doing YouTube, so I've got lots of other things to do, and I need to earn the money to get the CDs or vinyl or cassettes or hopefully mini disc in the future. But thanks for watching. Comment, rate and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video, and there'll always be another video. Bye.